and told them you'd be playing Europa League football by next season, they absolutely would have taken it. It's just the disappointment of today that I guess we and Leicester fans will need to get over.
Yeah, I think, when, probably it's not the best time in the world to, try and explain what's just happened, but, obviously massive disappointment for everyone concerned. I don't think really either team deserved to win the game. But unfortunately, Manchester United somehow pulled it off. We're in the Europa League. That was the goal at the beginning of the season, was to try and break into the top 6. They've achieved that. And at the final hurdle, unfortunately just come up a little bit short, but a valiant effort from the players, from all the staff this season. And as I said before, it's been a roller coaster. It's one thing that's never with Leicester City is boring. And so you can have as many different emotions as you want, but Casper mentioned that you take everything out of it. They're in the top 6. They're in the Europa League. It's been a successful season.
Well, joining me, Dan Bates and Jerry Taggart for the next half an hour or so to dissect that game, are former Leicester favourites Ewan Roberts and Steve Walsh. Walshy, will come to you next, though. Obviously, you're bitterly disappointed, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The difference between finishing the Europa League and the Champions League, we know how massive it is. The night before, when I compared it to like a playoff final, I've been in a playoff final. This is much, much bigger. Don't get me wrong, but the feeling's awful, and you almost feel like crying, but you can't. It's you've got to think of the positives now, and it's going to take a while to get over this. For a lot of them players, but let's not beat about the bush. They've been very credible. They've been in this game, especially. I think they deserve more. I thought that they played it well enough to win, and had the opportunities, and that's the frustrating thing. If you just took one of them chances away, the game changes. And I feel gutted for all the lads, the club and everyone involved. But what a great effort over the season. There's so many big plus points over this season, and like Jerry said, it's always a roller coaster ride with Leicester. You just don't know what you're going to get next, and well, let's go and win the Europa League then next year, and let's have a European tour for the fans. Let's not be too deflated. It's good, like I said, it'll hurt for a week or so, and get it out of the system. Come back, because we're going to be back before you can blink an eye, and we're going to be starting in a new season. It's crazy times, and you've got to understand all the politics that have gone behind everything. The no crowds, no fans, and this since March, it's confused everything. And to be fair, they've been playing 3 games in a week every week for the last 6 weeks. So you can't have a go at anybody, and the levels of performances have been up and down in a certain extent, but on the whole, they've been very, very good. I thought they came back fit and strong, and they've played some fantastic football at times and showed a bit of naivety and a bit of that different quality in that other players have got on that top 3 or 4 that they have, just makes that bit of difference. And although we created a lot, enough to win that game, it frustrates you and it saddens you to go out like that. And I really do feel sorry for them lads, and I'm sure Brendan will do his best to lift all of them, although that's going to be a difficult thing to do at this moment. But they'll get over it, and they'll be stronger for it.
Absolutely. We want everyone at home to get involved with the show here on City on the Sofa. You can use the hashtag LCFC or hashtag BenNowAgain. Let us know how you're feeling, whether you're disappointed or whether you're happy that we are in the Europa League. Ewan, can you try and sum up what you think Leicester fans and what the Blue Army will be thinking right now?
Huge disappointment, Dan. And I can understand that. I think some will be frustrated from seeing the club throw an 8-point gap between themselves and the teams that were just outside the top 4 when the season restarted. And I can understand that as well. But it's not been for a lack of effort, desire. They've been there for everybody to see. They've not had any luck since the restart. I think that's it played for everybody to see. They've had horrendous injuries to key players. You know, you take one of the best right backs out of the Premier League out your team, the English left back, your most creative player, and it's going to hurt any team. And it's just they've come so close to qualifying for the Champions League, and it's just in the way that it's been taken away from them in that final game, with maybe a contentious decision with a penalty. Does Johnny get a touch on the ball before Martial goes down? But they've got to get their heads up. To finish fifth, you look at the teams that have finished in that top four. All four have spent millions, absolute millions, building the squads that they've had. So for Leicester to go so close, have to take so much credit, and Brendan has to take so much credit for the squad that he's assembled. He's got to strengthen again in the summer. There's a quick turnaround with the season starting on the 12th of September, and they've got to get this disappointing feeling out of the systems as quick as they can, because I say that the new season will soon be upon us.
Jerry, Ewan mentioned there that obviously the injuries that Leicester have suffered in the last couple of weeks. We saw a shot, didn't we, just before the end of the game. It panned to the stands. There was Ricardo Pereira, Ben Chilwell, James Maddison, Soyuncu. Yes, I know he isn't injured, but he wasn't available for the last couple of games. And that obviously hasn't helped Leicester in these remaining games. No,
absolutely not. Although, I've got to say, I thought James Justin, man of the match performance today. I thought he was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, man of the match.
And again, Luke Thomas showed how composed he is as a young player. But you're right, over the course of a season, you've almost you haven't got almost half your outfield players on the pitch that you would have to say would normally start. So that is a big loss, and that is a big loss for any team, not just Leicester. But if Manchester United are missing 4 of their regular starters, or Liverpool, or any Man City, then that is a big loss for any team. Is that the reason why they couldn't get across the finishing line? Who knows? But Ian said a few key words there. It's been a great season. It's been a roller coaster ride. Hopefully, the younger players will learn a lot from this, experience-wise. Hopefully, they will gain a lot of experience from before going into lockdown and after coming out and playing, games of football without any fans, because it has been a bit of a strange time for everybody.
Walshy, they'll probably be able to use that experience, as Jerry said, that they can use this negative feeling, if you will, and what they'll be feeling in the dressing room right now to spur them on in future years to hopefully never feel this again. And
well, look, from Christmas time, there's been enormous pressure, and it's built and built and built right to the end, where it's almost exploded, if you will. And it's a bit unfair on some of the younger lads in this squad, when you think. But that's how football is now. It's very cutthroat. You see managers coming and going, and after losing 3 games, it's all about winning and losing. And, and it always has been football, of course. But now with the media and the way things are, it really ranks up that pressure to boiling point. And, it's a little bit unfair, I think, at times, but you've got to deal with it. And these lads will be protected by a good manager, and they'll come back stronger. There's no doubt they'll come back stronger. And like Jerry has just said, your man of the match by a mile was James Justin. And Luke Thomas had a terrific game. He would have been the man of the match only for James Justin. So when you look at that, 2 young lads in a game of that stature shows real progression in where we've come from. Harvey Barnes, you look at all the season from the start. We lost Maguire, obviously, an 85 million was he, and we didn't spend a lot of money on the squad. We've got a brand new training ground coming out of that, and yet we've still got a squad that can match a play. You can't tell me that Man United were better than us today. I don't think they were. I just think that which I have done for a little while, is that we have just got that finishing quality isn't quite as good as some other players. But listen, been a great season, and there's so many things happened with Vardy getting the Golden Boot, with a 9-0 at Southampton, the semi-finals of the, we should have beat Villa really, that was heartbreaking as well. I thought we were in that far, I thought we were going to do them, and fair play to Aston Villa. And so, the FA Cup was pretty kind with this year. We had a good go at both the cups, so you can't fault what's happened in this season yet. All the press will be saying that, Leicester City have bottled it, but it's not the case, not at all. They've given everything they can. They've been unlucky, and like I said, it hurts to be kicked when you're down, and we certainly have been. Sounchu getting suspended. You look at like you said, the injuries with Maddison, Chilwell, and Ricardo, top class players, and still. We were there for the fight and gave it as best a go as you could give, and I really felt up until they got that penalty that we were going to be the ones that maybe would come out on top and get the goal. I really did.
Well, before we look ahead to next season and what Leicester could maybe do in the transfer window in this short summer break, Ewan, there is a positive for Leicester today. Jamie Vardy wasn't caught in the race for the Golden Boot, so 23 goals for him was enough to win the Premier League Golden Boot, which is a fantastic achievement for him.
It is. He's come close on a few occasions. Did he finish second behind Harry Kane in your title-winning season? So he'll be chuffed a bit. 23 goals in 40 appearances, I think. He missed a big chunk not a big chunk. He missed a few games through injury, and considering, I think from when he scored at the Etihad to his 2 goals when he came on against Aston Villa in the game just before lockdown, he went 10 games without scoring. So to get that amount of goals, it's an absolutely fantastic achievement. Actually, I've done him an injustice. 23 in 35 games. That's a great record. Really, really is, and he deserves all the accolades and the praise that he gets, because he's done it the hard way. He's a grafter. He's had to graft to where he is. Just sadly, he didn't get one real good opportunity today to show what he's about. And your only worry is there will come a time that Leicester will have to think about replacing him. Because if you look at Man U, Rashford 17 goals, Martial 17 league goals, Greenwood 10 goals. That's a lot of goals. Leicester have depended on Jamie Vardy to score the goals, and he's taken that on his shoulders. It doesn't faze or bother him whatsoever. He's confident that he's capable of getting 15, 20, 25 goals a season for the club. But there will come a time that they will have to replace him, and that's a hell of a job.
And it is a great moment for him, Jerry, to get this accolade, because back in 2016, of course, when Leicester won the league, everyone thought he would have done that year. Obviously, he was pipped right at the end by Harry Kane to that. He'll have been disappointed, but he won't have cared a single bit, obviously, with winning the title. But nice for him to have that in his locker that he can then look back on when he's retired.
Yeah, he might not think so at the minute, but what he said, it'll take a few days for the players, to get over the disappointment. And when he does, then he should be very proud of what he achieved, because there are some serious strikers out there who are worth some serious money, and Jamie Vardy's pipped a lot at the final post, so he should be very, very proud of himself, because to be the top scorer in the Premier League of English football, it's not easy by any stretch of imagination, and for Jamie Vardy to just be pipping his head up above everyone else is a fantastic achievement.
How impressed, Walshy, are you with Jamie Vardy? The fact that even at the age that he is now, the fact he came into the Premier League when he was 27, he's part of the Premier League 100 club. He nearly won a Golden Boot. He has now won a Golden Boot. It is a fantastic story.
He's special. Let's not. He's the heartbeat of this club. But now, when you look at it, you just want him to go on forever. And he isn't, unfortunately, but he's got 23 goals with when you think of him being isolated quite a lot this season, you know, it's an incredible amount of goals that he scored, and he continues to do that every year, year in, year out. He you know, like I say, he's got a loyalty to us that's fantastic. He stuck by everybody and had his say, although he, you know, he just deserves every accolade he can get, because for me, you know, without Jamie Vardy in the team, then we have a problem. And it's something that the manager will be looking at closely over the next couple of years. But, you know, how old is he? 33? Is he 33 now, Vardy? 33. So, you know, he doesn't look as though he's slowed down. And I think there's another really good season out of him, definitely, and maybe two.
Well, because he came to the league quite late, do you think that will play into his hands?
I don't know. I don't think that is the case. I don't think it is. I just think that Jamie's Jamie, and he's come through his pathway. You know, and it's just been through the Leicester City route, really, from where he lived and what he's done. It's a great story, and he deserves everything. And I'm pleased he's come out on top. That's the great bit of news today. You know, that for me, it's nice for him to get that. He deserves that for him, his family, and for the Leicester fans and everybody who works hard behind the scenes at the football club. And even though Cuntop's birthday has not been great, he'll be happy for Jamie himself that he's reached that milestone. There
was a moment in the first half, Ewan, where it looked as if Jamie Vardy might not have even got the golden boot. Aubameyang got those 2 goals, and then Danny Ings scored in the second half. But it is a nice fact for Leicester fans to hold on to, that Jamie was able to hold on to that.
Absolutely. I mean, Tags touched on it there. The strikers in and about that Premier League now, some serious goal scorers. You know, Aguero, Kane, Mo Salah, Mane, Aubameyang. You know, and for him to be top of that list, it's a great list to be top of. And he's up there on merit. You know, and as Wolsey touched on, he's not had as many chances as those players. I don't want to. If you put him in the Man City team, or the Liverpool team, the chances that they create when they go forward, you're looking at a serious amount of goals. You know, he's had to live off scraps, especially in the second half of the season. It's a season that he'll be hurting now. He'll be hurting that the club's on the last day of the season dropped out of that top 4. But I'm sure in a few months, when he's sat at home and he's got that golden boot next to his Premier League medal on the mantelpiece, I think he'll have a little smile to himself.
Right, Jerry, let's look ahead now to the future. Obviously, there's a short summer, isn't there, for footballers usually. They get a little bit longer than this off. I know they obviously had the big break in lockdown, but what do you think Leicester need to do? We'll start with the transfer window, because obviously there's going to be a lot of games of football due to the Europa League. So what do you think Leicester need to do? Well,
obviously they need to buy some players. Do they need to get rid of some players? I don't know. Only Brendan knows that, but without a doubt they need to strengthen. Do they need to strengthen in all areas of the pitch? Probably not. But there's a lot of transfer rumours, just floating around about certain players coming in or certain players leaving the club. So it's difficult. It's difficult to try and pinpoint what areas of the pitch that we need strengthening. Time will only tell that. But I think the creativity side, you mentioned that you play for a Man City, you play for a Liverpool. The amount of chances those teams create for the strikers on any given day is quite phenomenal. So I think where Leicester have probably let themselves down slightly is what was on those final balls into the box, that creative side. So maybe that's one area where Brendan will look at and stress the point that if we're going to break into the top 4 potentially next season, then we need to maximise the opportunities that come our way.
Moving away from actual specific positions, Jerry, I guess squad depth is something that they'll certainly need to look at due to the added games that you have because of the Europa League.
Absolutely. Again, but it's all about getting the right ones in. You can't just go and say, right, we need 10 players to strengthen the squad. You have to bring the right kind of quality into the club. Otherwise, there's no point. You might as well go with what you got, plus one or two others that you think are right. You're not going to get every target you go after, because automatically, being in Europe, the price of any potential purchase you want to make, is bumped up. So it's a very, very cagey game this close season with a transfer window reopening. And you've got to play it very, very smartly.
I think sometimes as well, Ewan, sorry Walshy, is that keeping hold of some of your important players is just as important as bringing in new players as well.
Absolutely, Dan. I mean, over the season, there's been Maddison's been linked with a move to Manchester United. Ben Chilwell's been mentioned with a move to Chelsea. Ricardo would have many takers. The player he is. So yeah, it's vital that you do strengthen in certain areas, but it's also vital that you keep your top stars, and Leicester have done that over the past couple of years. And if they have, they've lost one or two players, but they've got top dollar for those players. I mean, Maguire is a prime example. £80 million. Leicester could not turn that down. So, but yeah, it's. If you get a serious, silly money offer for the player, it's always hard to turn it down. But the one thing the club has got, it's got a great academy policy. It's got a manager who isn't afraid to give youth an opportunity. Once you touched on you move into a state-of-the-art training facility, which will help you attract the top player that you will need to take you to the next level of finishing that top four on a consistent basis and qualifying for the Champions League and Europa League football on a regular basis. So it's something that Brendan hasn't really got a lot of time to sort of think about. And he'll know what he wants. He'll know the players. He'll have targets. There's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes before the end of the season to have their targets and the finances that go with all of that.
Yeah, Walsh, we can talk about that new training ground. It looks absolutely fantastic in North Leicestershire, and it will be one of the best, if not the best, in all of Europe for football clubs. It's such an exciting time for this football club that will be playing in Europe next season.
Yes, it is, and I know the guy who's actually got the project management ship over it, and he sent me some images yesterday. I was at someone's birthday party just yesterday, and he sent me some images of the pitches and the youth side of it, and the construction of the changing rooms there. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. I must admit, it's just unbelievable. It really is. It's going to surprise a few people when you can get a tour around there, or you can even look at what the quality of it is. It's incredible. But you just wonder that obviously the challenge and the goals next year will be to try and challenge that four again. Will it be to stay in the top six, or as good old Vichai, bless him, used to say, I want to win the league. And that's how, you've got to think mentally as players, right? Let's set a target. Why do you set it top four? Let's go and try and win the league next season and give it a good go. And if we fall short, then we do. I don't think there's any more pressure on you saying that than there is, saying stay in the top four. But let's be honest and realist that Leicester have achieved probably better than everybody thought this season from the start, if you'd have said this at the start of the season. So, like I say, there's young kids that are maturing. You saw that in the performances of Thomas, as I've said, and Justin. And there's a nice blend of experience in that squad to go forward, yet there's still something missing, and that's that quality and that, whether you can instill that. It's like when you make a debut and you come out and you get an opportunity to score a goal like we've had in the last 6 or 7 games. There's been a chances spurned, but they would be dispatched, and even by a 17-18, you've either got it or you haven't in that skill. So that's what I think that is frustrating for me, because we should have been winning a lot of these games, and we haven't, because we spurned quite a few chances. It's not that we've not created and we've not been solid at the back or anything. It's just been that final lack of finishing power and quality that other teams have had, like the Salahs and the Guerreros. And, you just see them in positions like we've got they'd have been dispatched. Big Wes gets an opportunity, but I'm not saying anything about Wes. He's only just come back and played 2 games out of the whole season. It's incredible what he's done. So there's nothing wrong with him missing a chance, but he'll be a bit aggrieved that he didn't get a connection with that shot. And yet other teams would finish them chances. So we've got to be ruthless, and we've got to, we've got to hopefully hope that these young kids are learning, and they'll learn the trade where they get that skill, but I think that's something that's born in natural strikers. I don't think you can breed it. You can get better, and you can teach people and the art of doing things, but I just think there's an instinct and something that's missing.
But it might be a big learning curve, Jerry, I think, for these young players, as we've referenced, but it still is such an exciting time to be involved with this football club moving forward.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it is a massive learning curve for everybody, for Brendan as well, never mind some of the younger players. So it'll just be interesting to see what actually happens in the close season. When you talk about bringing players in or whatever, there might be players that might have been leaving at the end of the season that have now been given a new lease of life because of the Europa League. And now they're, they may be kept on to play in that, especially for the Europa League. So it'll be interesting times just to see. But I think
do you
overall,
know the exciting thing, Jerry? When we go back to Madison and so if we look at that squad going into the next season, you think, hang on a minute, you've got 3 or 4 additions there. That so how far can we go? You don't know. With a few additions, I'm sure Brendan will buy a couple of players. So who knows where we can go? And there's certainly...
It's exciting times, isn't it?
When you look at how far we've gone we've come back a little bit and we've gone right up there again. And, so everyone will be expecting, they expect the unexpected sometimes.
The thing is, you've got 2 budgets. You've got a Champions League budget and you've got a Europa League budget. And so, one goes hand in hand. So then that sort of tells you potential targets you can go for. Or maybe there's no budget, maybe Quintap will just say, go and get what you want, but we'll have to wait and see. Nobody really knows. Brendan will have his targets. He'll have 1, 2, 3 key players, and I mean key players that will be integral.
With our best team, I don't fear Chelsea. I don't feel Man United can improve that. I don't, and Tottenham, Arsenal. I don't think they can be that emphatic again. So your Man City and Liverpool, that's who you're fighting against at the minute, because it's a 2-way traffic. But still, I do feel that when I look at the whole picture now, that, hang on a minute, we've still got some players to come back. I forgot about them. And yet, with some additions, with some really good additions, you've got to look at a manager's, what he's going to think now, because he'll sit back and he'll think, right, that's what I need, because there's certainly the makings of a
an exciting squad, which is a very much a good thing for Leicester City. We're coming right towards the end of the final City on the Sofa of the season and the end of the 2019-20 season. Ewan Roberts, final thoughts from you, please, on what's been overall a good season for Leicester City.
I think it's been a top-class season. We're all disappointed how it's ended. We're all hurting. But overall, I think you have to look at the big picture. To finish 5th in the Premier League, and you look at the 4 teams that have finished above you, and the stature and the size and the finances that they've got available to them, you've got to be pleased with looking forward to European football next year.
Yeah, Jerry Taggart, I'll leave you with your final thoughts then, please. Leicester City will be going on a European tour next season.
Yeah, we're going to some new and wonderful places that we've never been, potentially. And I love going to new places. Hopefully, next year...
We want to go to Thailand, don't we, Taggart, as well?
Next year, things will be sorted out and we'll get to go to them places.
Look at that golden boot.
Successful season, fantastic season for Brendan Rodgers and the players, and it is what it is. We move on.
Well, thank you very much to Ewan Roberts, to Steve Walsh and to Jerry Taggart for joining us today on City on the Sofa. As it's the final home game, the players normally would have been doing a lap of appreciation, but with no fans in there, they've recorded these messages which were done before the game today.
Hi guys, just want to say massive thank you for all your support. I know it's been a bit different coming to the end of the season, obviously with you not being there, but we know that you've been supporting us behind the scenes.
Thank you so much for your support this season. To all the Leicester City fans, we hope to see you back again soon.
This is for the fans. Thanks for your support all season. I know it's been a tough year, especially when you've not been able to come to the games, but we've given our all and your support has been great, even though it's been behind your computer screen. So thank you very much for all your support this year.
To the fans out there, all the Leicester fans, thank you very much for your support this season. Obviously the last few months have been a bit difficult for everyone, but yeah, we can't wait to have you guys back in the stadium soon.
Thank you for your support this season. I hope to see you all soon and to be able to play in front of you soon.
Hello everybody out there. Thank you for your amazing support throughout this difficult season. I know it's not been ideal, but we know that you are out there supporting us throughout the whole time. So thank you very much for that, and we go next year.
Hi guys, hope you're all keeping well. Just want to give you a quick message and say thank you for your support this season. We found it tough not having you guys around in the stadium of late, but you know, I'm sure we're just as excited as what you are to be able to be back together at the KP, and yeah, hopefully good times ahead for us all. So you know, we miss you guys, but thank you for your support and we'll see you soon.
Just want to say a huge thank you to all the Leicester City fans out there who've shown your continuous support this season. We've really appreciated you and you've helped us through the ups and the downs. So stick with us till the end of the season and hopefully we can do you proud.
Thank you for all the support you've shown this season, and hopefully you'll be back in the stadium soon, supporting us where you rightfully belong.
To all the Leicester City fans, I just want to say a big thank you for all your support throughout the season. Hopefully we can get you back into the stadium soon and continue to feel your support through all the matches. Thank you.
I think it's been a wonderful season with and without you, so we really appreciate myself, and I'm really proud and happy for you guys supporting me and supporting the whole Leicester team. So we really appreciate. Thank you wherever you are. So have a blessed and good summer, and hopefully we'll get a good result against Man United and we'll make you proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all the Leicester City fans for your support this season. It's been a tough season, but you've stuck with us and we'll push to the end to get to where we want to be.
Thank you very much to all the fans for your support this season. Hopefully we'll see you in the not too distant future. Thank you.
Thanks the fans for all the support during all the season, and we will give the best for you.
Thank you to the fans for the support. It means a lot. Thank you very much for always being there for us. Hopefully next season we'll come back stronger, and then thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you for your support. This season was a good season, but as well was a little bit difficult season because we played without you, and hopefully you guys are staying healthy, and yeah, hopefully we're gonna see you soon.
Hi LCFC fans. I want to thank you personally for all your kind support this season. You've been behind us through highs and lows. I know it's been a tough season with this pandemic going on, but you've always been there, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Just want to say thank you to you fans out there. Obviously it's been a different kind of end to the season, but you know, we've seen your support, you know, on and off the pitch, and when you're not with us, you know, we get your vibes, so we thank you and look forward to seeing you next year.
To all the Leicester fans, thank you for the support. It has been a tough year, but it was a good year, and I hope to see you soon again.
Hello to all Leicester fans. I want to thank you for all the support during this season, especially in these difficult times for everybody. And I hope we can see you soon at the King Power. Take care.
With you then.
With you now.
With you again.